Lord, open our eyes so that we may see you, our minds so that we may know you, our hearts so that we may love you. In your Son's name, amen. On behalf of the Scouts, the parents, the chairman, Jim Featherstone, Scoutmaster Tony Smith, our entire wonderful staff, committee, and volunteers, thank you from Troop 400. It is great to be here. It is wonderful to continue having such a wonderful home. This year we have our largest class of new Scouts that we've had. Wow, I probably should have checked that before I stood up here. That we've had in a long time, we'll say. So it is wonderful to be here. Now, it's great to see so many familiar faces. For those of you that don't know me, I guess a few caveats. Guest preachers, yes, we all know this, sometimes are boring. A Boy Scout of America chaplain, now that could go either way. That could be exciting. Just this coming weekend, Mr. Parrish will be taking the older boys on a backpacking hike. And I got this all wrong, Mr. Parrish is going to be rappelling with the boys. Others are hiking. Just this year, Mr. Midkiff caught a catfish larger than most of our Scouts. We do some exciting things. And that said, the Boy Scout chaplain, I think we're safely in boring territory there again. Now, that's a lot of boring. So maybe I bring something to the table personally that will make this exciting. My habits, my hobbies are reading, pencils, and stamp collecting. I wish that was a lie. I am boring personified. This is what it looks like. But luckily, we're in Easter. And it doesn't matter how boring the guest preacher may be, because the message is incredible, because the promise is unbelievable in its greatness, because the risen Lord changes everything. So while I may be boring, please at least listen to the message. Now, in my seminary, we had 21 different faith groups, which actually makes for fascinating discussion. We would argue over all sorts of things. Imagine doing a study group where your partners are a Catholic and a Pentecostal. You come at things from different places. A persistent debate was the merits of the lectionary. We as Episcopalians use the lectionary. Each week, we have assigned verses. There are times when the beauty and the depth of the lectionary make it so clear as to why we do not stray from it. This Sunday is one of those Sundays. Acts, a reading from Acts that we didn't include today, but that is part of it, resolves and sort of plants a final flag in the Messiah's place in Jewish history. Here in 1 John, we hear that beautiful you, we, all of us, are children of God. Then in Luke, we have the third appearance of Jesus. This appearance follows a pattern: encounter, explanation, eating, enlightenment, and exit. That pattern is always there. Yes, there's depth and beauty, but there's also a little bit of a crazy uncle at a family dinner going on. Now, have you all ever had that? Have you all ever been at Easter lunch, Thanksgiving? And there's that crazy uncle. Maybe it's an aunt in your family. But we all talk about things, but we don't talk about that. And that's what they want to bring up. Does anyone have any idea what I'm talking about? You can nod. It's okay. All right. We've got a lot of crazy uncle going on in this passage. 1 John, children of God, that's such a powerful, great phrase. Yet that verse is wrapped with what our crazy uncle wants to talk about. That verse is wrapped with the fact that we are also very, very sinful creatures. And that it is our sin and our separation because of sin that creates the very need for our salvation. If you're having a nice dinner party and you're talking about children of God, it may be uncomfortable when the crazy uncle mentions sin. Now in Luke, we have that powerful, powerful encounter. 1 John, children of God. Luke, Jesus comes again. Here, the disciples, even the disciples doubt. Did you all catch that? Even the disciples doubt. Now, in each of these, remember I told you there was a paradigm to these stories. Encounter, Jesus shows up. Explanation. Every time Jesus interprets the resurrection through the scriptures, he reminds the disciples, thereby reminding us that the story is complete. But there's something that's always thrown in when Jesus comes after the resurrection: eating. Now, I love when we see the notes in Bibles on this. It always says people often thought that ghosts couldn't eat. So just the mere fact that Christ ate gave solace to some. Well, he can't be a ghost. Now, 1,800 years ago, they didn't have the movie Ghostbusters, but all of us know that Slimer eats a lot. We all know that ghosts can eat. I don't know that argumentative proof that has survived the centuries, that proof that the body was real and tangible, I don't know that proof has survived its meaning. I don't know that hearing, well, he ate, gives us enough. Because again, Slimer ate a lot of stuff. So we have crazy uncles. We have sin. We have doubt. Let's embrace the crazy uncle. Let's talk about doubt. Doubt. The English here doesn't help us. There are really two kinds of doubt. The Greek does a little bit better job, but still not perfect. In our lives, in the way we talk, doubt can kind of be summed up two different ways. I don't know about that. Or, really? Now, the first one, I don't know about that. That's doubt where you just don't believe it. You're not going to believe it. It doesn't matter. Okay? That's not the kind of doubt that is helpful here. That's not the kind of doubt that when you leave today, I want you to ever have in your heart. Because I do want you to leave here with doubt. And I want you to leave here with the, really? Kind of doubt. To sit and to think and to struggle. The promise is great. The story is great. To get there cannot be simple. It should not be simple. Doubt is okay. God can handle your doubt. Jesus shows up to his disciples. He's exposed himself, revealed himself, much better term, right before this, on the road to Emmaus. Now he's with the 11, shows them all. He doesn't chastise them for doubting. He says, why do you doubt? We never get in trouble for doubting. I doubt. My faith is strong because of doubt. Faith is not the absence of doubt. My God is big enough to handle my doubt. And let me leave you with this. If I had no doubt, at all, that means I understand God. That is a tiny God. A God that I can understand is far too puny for me. A God that's bigger, mysterious, at times scary, always loving, always there. That's a God that's so big I can't figure it out. So doubt must exist. My faith is strong because of doubt. I praise God for my doubt. You know, when the events of life rage at us, when the darkness is so complete that even bleakness or despair would reek of joy, that type of darkness. When we're lost, when we're alone, when we're scared and confused, we may doubt. That's okay. Because we are a people of faith, and the people of faith, when these dark moments come, we have a but. Yes, life is broken. Yes, I'm in pain. Yes, I've experienced loss. Yes, you're confused. Yes, you don't know how you're going to make tomorrow work. We all have these moments. But those of us with faith, we have the but. It is dark, but God is with me. But I am a child of God. But He is risen indeed. As people of faith, we must have doubt to have the but. Ladies and gentlemen, as people of faith, cling to the but. And yes, Boy Scouts, I did just make a butt joke. That's okay. Laughter, doubt, love, joy, sorrow. God is all of it. There is nothing we won't touch as we leave this door for the next week that God isn't part of. Be it a little bit of humor with seize your butt, or the fact that doubt is important and incredibly essential to our faith. We have darkness, but we have a resurrected Lord. And in that resurrection, all promises are fulfilled. We can know what it means to be a child of God. And no matter what darkness comes upon us, we can break that darkness with, but I have faith. And that is good news indeed.